Alright. Nobody expected a stream today. For real though, I was wondering if I should stream today because Hmm. Alrighty, folks. Okay, let me then. Oh right, I'm already connected. I've accidentally hit to list out all the people. Okay, so what's the deal today? I'm going to try and complete this artwork. While I'm going to sip on that new brandy, I'm going to give you a feedback right now. How does the brandy taste like before starting to draw? It doesn't really smell like the other brand I've been drinking. And that one is slightly more expensive. That one is like 5 and more expensive. And the other one smelled like a mixture, right? Like it had some chocolatey smell to it. It had some note of cherry. This one, this one just smells like normal whiskey you can get. Brandy is not whiskey, but this one smells like one. And that's something I wasn't expecting from this bottle. French brandy, eh? Napoleon. Okay, let's give it a taste. Mm. This one is hold on. This one tastes a bit more like a chocolate. Is there anything else that should be in here from the notes? No. You know how this tastes? Like those chocolates with alcohol in them. The barrels. Mhm. So yeah, it's really good one. It's really good one. I would expect a bit more though, because I can get way better tasting one for cheaper. It's like as if you would get some whiskey and throw in some sugar in it. Oh well. Okay, let's start drawing because this is what everyone came in here for. Didn't didn't you? Alrighty. So let's draw our elf. Elf on a shelf. Ha 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 ha. Not for real though. Mm. So basically, the deal is to just generally try to draw as much as possible today. That's why I've actually started this stream a bit earlier. This is why exactly. Oh well, oh well. I finished first episode of Zamd Lost Memories yesterday. Wasn't really watching today, but might actually after the stream. And I have to say the anime seems cool. There's a lot of questions at the beginning than what I like. I prefer when anime is a bit more straightforward, with the story at the start and slowly introduce more questions. This one started like right away. We've got like two nations, some sort of a war, a zone that I think supposed to not be touched by the both sides, because everyone was so shocked that there were some there was like an attack, right? Um, there were some characters like an old lady. There are some like characters. There were some different. There was like a some sort of a how do you call it? Um, some sort of a ritual at the start. Like I don't even know what's going on. The character, like out of nowhere, started to see lights. The light shooting to his arm. Something started happening. Then he had like a weird, thing. Some white-haired girl that he helped previously, I guess, because of the kindness. And started, after the attack on the bus they were driving, started to bleed green. She touched his forehead, a red crystal appeared, and he started changing. Like, I have no idea what's going on. So yeah, like the first episode turned to be really chaotic, and left the viewer with a lot of questions that, as of now, see, the thing about story writing is that you kind of have to start giving people questions to ask when they care to ask. This anime skipped the way like someone caring for it, and so the second I wasn't really like pushed to watch another episodes, as for example in Steins Gate, right, or One Piece, because One Piece had some started to actually unwrap a bit, right? We have I'm in Water 7, so now it's like we have Frankie, we have the thing that Frankie's name is not Frankie, which I had absolutely not even a single idea. Even though I've read manga, I have to totally forget about this thing. That's why also I'm rewatching the full anime instead of rewatching it from the moment, because there you have like some time skips. From what I remember, time skip means whenever there was a time skip, they were actually taking opportunity to change the art style. Though you can see some small improvements in the art style already. For example, the shadows are not black, but actually different tint of the skin tone, which is, as a matter of fact, believe it or not, not because the animators got better, but actually because the method of making animations changed a bit. One Piece started coming out a bit earlier before Dragon Ball and Bleach and others. So that's actually why, Dragon Ball and Bleach started to be a bit, already started to look a bit different, though you can still see that along the ways as the styles match to first Dragon Ball and One Piece at certain point. And then there's going to be another skip, probably in the next arc, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to like figure out the timeline for when certain arc could possibly come out, because it's really interesting for me, because I kind of know this the history behind anime making and generally animation making. And I know that some methods were applied because of, for example, troubles with financing the episodes. Like, for example, that's why One Piece started off with black shadows, and a lot of anime actually had similar shadows from the same era and before, because it was cheaper for them to use black paint or ink to actually place a shadow onto everything. Unfortunately, it didn't really look well, but fortunately enough, you know, people started watching anime a bit more than what it meets the eye. Like, for example, um, abroad started getting anime, right? Because they were the general concept of the kids shows started to be more popular over time. Like, for example, in Poland, we've had RTL 7, which was um, it wasn't generally only playing kids shows, but actually shows from abroad, mostly French, because if I'm not mistaken, RTL 7 was French, but it had also some anime, right? So the thing being, whenever you would see those comparisons, like, oh, dubbing from America and dubbing from Poland, and in dubbing from Poland you have only one person saying all the lines, even for female characters. It's called lector. Some countries are still using that along with Poland, because I don't know, voice acting just didn't really click for anime generally. So a lot of series actually have that along the time, like just barely recently. Because if I'm not mistaken, around 2022, 2019, maybe even further on in 2022, more voice actors started to pop up, and they were actually getting jobs in voice acting anime, right? So that's why on Netflix you we can finally here in Poland see some Polish voice acting. Also, the only people that could give voices mostly were like popular singers and stuff. And unfortunately, the only people that were capable to make voice acting were getting really a lot. And anime is not, well, wasn't at that time at least. Because I've noticed that more and more people like anime. I have to say that it just wasn't worth to the corporations to actually hire those voice actors. because we have some, for example, Ice Age when it came out, it had full voice acting. Whenever we've had some like Cartoon Network, Disney movies, right? Those had full voice acting. The thing, but the fact that, for example, anime wasn't really us watching, like people weren't really watching anime back in the days, really put a print on anime that up to this day is actually haunting this entire like voice acting concept for anime. That's why it kind of left to be something that young adults are watching instead of kids, right? Even though, well, you still get like anime kids shows, but mostly things like Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, like things where blood gets around, people are losing their limbs, etc. So like those late teenage young adults would be really into, and just because of that it like falls under movies category where they receive lectors. Also mostly because a lot of anime have a lot of episodes and it's way cheaper to hire a lector instead of hiring an entire voice acting team that would voice act the entire series, right? Because it would be really pain in the ass. And you can see, as a matter of fact, the imprint of that thing in with Naruto, for example. So the Naruto itself had the issue where they attempted to voice act it, Jetix, right? The series wasn't really the series was too long and they kind of ran out of the funds and they didn't really finish Naruto, and it was first Naruto, nothing else. And I think first Naruto has like 200 episodes or something, maybe more, but maybe slightly more, but yeah, it was too long as season to season. Like for example, series like Star Racers that has just a season. That is normal season. I think like 24 episodes or something like that. It's really cool anime. If someone likes like anime about some technology and stuff, it's quite futuristic too. But I would say like post-apo futuristic. So you get like if you hmm, if you remember that moment in Star Wars um where you get the those like cars, right? The races on that on Tatooine, I think. Was it Tatooine? Where young Luke and young Anakin Skywalker pod races? Yeah, exactly. So if you really like pod races, Urban Star Racers is all about that. Like the girl actually, there's like the main hero that is a girl, and she's actually like learned how to build pods and actually build her own pod to race all from scraps and all on her own. And she's like actually racing with it, and you can see a lot of like hardships and a lot of like there's like really complicated story to that, by the way. And I'm really shocked that something like Urban Star Racers ever like would have complicated story to it, but surprisingly it does. It's not like something life changing, but it's quite interesting anime to watch. Even though I can say that, even though I'm not really interested in this kind of genre, right? Like racing and stuff. But the story itself kept me in it, to be fair. Also, hi Zega, got to have you here. How are you? Hope How's going? And to be fair, I like Redline. That was similar, yeah. And actually, probably. I don't. I think I've seen Red Line somewhere. I didn't see the anime itself, but I've seen the name somewhere, and I think it was because I've seen a trailer or something like that. It's an anime movie. Oh, it's a movie. Okay. So yeah, probably it was a trailer that I've seen to the anime. I've made some more shadows here because I'm planning on experimenting a bit. I want to paint some lights on top of it. Also, hope you like me talking about different anime and like, anime making and stuff. I've noticed that people didn't really like it. It's from 2010, but feels much older, I see. Hi, Muto, got Tevi here. How are you? Hope it was going. So I have to say, I think people didn't really liked yesterday's playthrough. um, I'm starting to think to stray totally from games on the channel. Maybe I could use the games as some as a background to talks. But I guess since I would have to become like a full art channel, it would be far better. Was not even here. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing today? I'm doing nice, doing nice. I ate some pizza. I still have like half of it because there's one thing actually that I have to talk about. I've experienced one of those moments where your order gets totally ignored. My pizza came like almost 3 hours after I've ordered it because I've ordered it around, what was it, 12:08. What the fuck? Yeah, I've ordered my pizza around 12:08. Apparently, oh, apparently, as they've said, the system, because I've ordered through the online and I was like, you know, making payments upfront and stuff. So like I was already money deep in to that order. So I just couldn't really ditch it. Here, if it's not coming within 30 to 40 minutes, it's free. Yeah, they didn't gave me the money back, but they gave me some bonuses, and that's like something that I can say that sweetened the deal because the full order was like 202 PLN, right? But I received like around 260, maybe a bit more, around maybe slightly below 170. Um, why? They've actually took up both pizzas by one size up because I've ordered small and they gave me medium, which is cool, right? I've actually saved up quite a bit because of that. And I have to say that I've also received a mm, alcohol-free. Um, I think pizza when you're hungry is cooler. Yeah, but actually, I've ordered it to for ahead. I was expecting it to came a bit later, so I wasn't really that much hungry throughout most of the time I was waiting. I started to get a bit more angry. I was starting to get a bit more hungry around like you know hour later or like hour and a half later, right? That's when I've actually started to feel a bit more hunger, and I've gave the call to them when the pizza is going to come up, right? And then dude like, let me check that, right? He called back and like, we are so sorry. And I knew someone fucked up. So what I think happened is that they didn't really look at the prompter that is giving them the orders from the online store that they have, and basically just ignored it. Also, I'm wondering about one thing. I might. I know how it's going to sound, but hear me out. I want. I've read. I've read first and second chapter. I'm almost done rewriting second chapter, and I've the second chapter. It started good. Had some moments where I had to like skip it. Had some repetitions that I had to cut out, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And last beat is like I'm just sitting here and writing the book on my own, like everything, all the dialogues, on the descriptions, everything, because all of the stuff was like mistaken and took the so much different way. And I want to finish the second chapter, keep first and second chapter. Probably I'm going to give them a note, but what I want to do, and I think that's going to upgrade my book writing system, right? The pipeline, because that's very important when to keep up with your pipeline. And when something is wrong, just upgrade it, right? Same for drawing, same for everything. Like if you feel that the way you are doing something is wrong, improve on it. Because most likely you are wasting your time on some things, and I feel like I am wasting my time, and I feel that I still didn't and I reread how I've wrote everything, and I still feel that I didn't give the proper look into the prompts and stuff, because I'm making sketch of my book with AI. I'm rewriting all of it later on. I just need like a guidance with the story, right? Like I'm cutting down the time by half, and you can see and hear probably how much troubles it gives me to use it, by the way. So do I recommend it? Probably if I would sit down and make it similar way, but just on my own, I would finish the sketch of the story, you know, more or less in the same time as I've already put into that, and by now I would just be coming along with all of different stuff, because when you finish writing it, it's way easier for you. I'm just trying to give AI a shot, because I've seen and heard that a lot of people are doing that and it's helping them, and I wanted to see how much helping is that help. And it's I don't know, maybe it's me. Again, I've been reading through it, I've reread a lot of different stuff, how I can improve on that, and I can say that maybe it's my fault, but I don't recommend working with it. It's like a lot of stuff is getting mangled up, a lot of stuff is getting mistaken. You have a lot of repetitions that you have to cut out, and generally, for example, I've had my first chapter was like 25 pages. After finishing changing it, I'm left with 18 pages, so I've had to cut out like eight pages, something like that. 7 pages, sorry, 7 pages. I had to cut out 7 pages from first chapter generally, because there was so many repetitions and mistaken text, and I could just write something way better, way faster, and shorter generally. Which, first of all, like, okay, makes sense, right? Um, that it, it's a light novel, so I have to keep up my book up to 300 pages. I was slightly under it, so I'm going to boost. I'm going to bring down the amount of pages, and I'll be Gucci. But I feel like, and I'm rather scared that actually I might experience a bit more troubles with it, and I'm probably going to sit down and rewrite and finish the second chapter today. And yes, I'm still fighting with it, and I guess I'm going to try my best to finish second chapter and just sit down again to writing of third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh chapter generally. I know the pipeline. I just need to do things a bit better, a bit differently. I'll have to write a bit more than how much I've wrote. So generally, what I've done was like sitting down, writing, asking AI to fill out a bit more stuff, right? And I think this is where I've made my mistake. I've kind of thought that it's going to manage when I'm going to give it a guidance. It kind of did, improved on it, but and I think I'll have to still give a bit more guidance to the pages that are going to be written. But as much as I have to do is going to be like writing a chapter, this a sentence describing full chapter, splitting it into three, then splitting those three into 9 sentences, then splitting those 9 sentences into page range. So you can already see how much I have to do because third chapter, if I'm not mistaken, has like 60 pages or something like that. So now, like, figure out writing a 1 sentence for each. So you will have to write. I'll have to write like 60 sentences for this chapter generally, and that's still not yet where I can let AI go. I'll have to write a 9 sentence long description of a page. That's how much I'll have to do. Not only that, I'll have to give for each page characters that are in and give the description of how the characters act, how they look, etc. Just so the personality and the way they look, the characters in the page and chapter would actually remain. And then I think I would get a good page for a sketch. So you can still see that I'm still almost done, by the way. Like 9 sentences for a page is like I, I'm almost done with a page that way. Like sometimes some pages don't even have 9 sentences. So that's generally the main idea why I would say that it's not necessarily something you want to go for when writing a book. I'll have to probably change. I have to probably change the way how the way it works, and who knows? Maybe I'm going to sit down and actually write the entire book on my own. I feel like I've wasted enough time on it, and I really want that book to be finally finished. I'm so close to it being done, and yet so far because of how much AI actually messed things up. For a sketch, but this is why it's a sketch. And the worse sketch you make for yourself, the more work you'll have to output in the refinement stage. So I didn't really do much work in the sketch. So just because of that, I have to put in a lot of work into refinement, and I think either I'm going to stay with it and try to figure out how I can, pipeline of working with those chapters, or I have to figure out how I can speed up making those sketches still. Write the whole book, then reread it. Yeah, this is generally how it works. This is generally what I'm doing right now because I've used AI and to make the sketch, right, to cut short the work, and I can do a sketch in like a day, let's say, right? It's really fast. But the issue being that this sketch is really bad, and now as I'm, at the last part, rereading the whole book and then writing it all, writing things to be better, which is still a thing you do for the book work pipeline, by the way. You are still doing that, even without AI, by the way. So, yeah. It's just if I would write it on my own, I would have to work on it way less. So it's, I have to choose, right? Which stage I want to take faster. A refinement or sketch work, right? So it's a bit meh. I'll figure though. I'll figure because it's not really as problematic. It's not really as weird or different. What I would have to do is, you know, just sitting down and focusing on rereading the entire book. And I feel like I'm having some troubles recently with focusing on it, and I think this is the only reason why the entire work actually is taking so much. Um, I kind of have a way to work properly, so I'm reading the thing and I'm copying a I'm cutting out a sentence, a piece. I'm reading it, changing it, then taking another part, reading it, changing it, etc. And it's like never-ending work generally. And I think this is having impact on me wanting to work on it. I don't know. I also don't really feel much attachment to the story. Maybe it's because AI wrote the sketch, and I just don't feel like it's giving me any way to attach myself to to get any way of attachment to the story, or anything. There is your problem. Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't feel like working on it because I don't have attachment. That solves it. So I guess I would feel a bit more attached to the story, and I would will to read a bit more if I would put out a bit more work to the sketch. Checks out. Checks out. I might try to figure that out. Also, still the music. Where is the music? Hello? Music? Anything? Can I get it? Bruh. In case I cannot. You always have trouble with the music. Yeah, recently the page I'm using to play the songs that you usually listen to is having some troubles recently. I don't know where does that come from. It's just weird because I'm listening to it based on on like live radio, and the way how it looks, I have like in the corner, I have a thing that I can where I can just play and stuff, but there should be like track name and time and stuff, but this doesn't really load, so as if the songs are not being loaded into anything. So whenever, you know, the track name is not being loaded, I know that the music is not going to play. And like, believe me, I've tried to solve it. I've tried to click anything. It's just, you know, it's just not there for me. So yeah, in general way, I've just been, you know, weird. Yeah, it's like issue on their side. That's for sure. That's, you know, their side issue. So I can't really solve it because they would have to, you know, fix it. I guess no one reported that, so I'm just sitting here waiting and hoping that they are going to probably fix it. Also, I've started my talks with gamer subs. There might be a chance that I might be sponsored by them. But you know how those are usually working. I'm getting a referral link or code, and if anyone is ordering something, you know, if anyone is ordering something, they can receive a, you know, a way, you know, a percentile from the sale and stuff. A referral link, kinda. How was it? I'm still waiting for the response. I've started the talks. They were eager, asked me to, you know, get a bit more to everything. Probably they're checking out my channel. I don't know. We'll see. I would be really happy if I would get it though. That would be like a first collaboration I would get. That would be so cool. Yeah, it would be. Imagine actually making a stream where I would draw image for the cup. You all would be able to mangle stuff in. That you would want to see on the cup. Right? Yeah. Man, I feel tired, kinda. Like, there's like a weird feeling today, I have to say. To be fair, let me check real quick the email. I'm extremely tired. I spent 5 hours at the hospital. Oh my god, what happened, Muto? Are you okay? Yesterday? My father? Oh, gotcha. Hmm. Glad to hear that everything's okay now. The hospital where I live sucks. I can I can actually relate. The hospital at my city is called the death row. Like straight up, if you are landing in that hospital, you can be 100% sure that you are not going to make it. It's one of the hospitals where after an operation you feel you have to go and check if they didn't cut out some kidneys or anything like that for sale. It's straight up. You can't trust this hospital. And that's bad because there's like the only hospital in a radius of like 50-40 kilometers. But even though there's this hospital, if you call for the ambulance is taking you to the different city that 40-50 kilometers away. They totally skip it. Probably if they get this position that, there's no room or something, they are like bringing people. Sounds like my hospital and same, yeah. Imagine. That's straight up. That's sad though. People come to hospitals, thinking that they are going to, be saved, survived, killed, whatever. And by the end of the day, you can't even trust, your organs. At least it's free. True. At least it's free. But you get free treatment only if you are you know have insurance. If you don't, then you still get fees. So that's like we have free hospitals, but this kind of thing. But whenever you hear bad, it's that there's something bad going to be said. Isn't social insurance mandatory everywhere in the EU? It's not mandatory. You can just get the insurance really easily, and it's mandatory to receive any free help, basically, as far as I reckon. You literally just as long as you work or learn or whatever, you just get insurance, and your family can get insurance. There's like national insurance company. Here it's part of your taxes and you can't opt out. Fuck. That sounds like hell too. If that way you said mandatory. The way you said mandatory. Mandatory. So yeah, probably I'm going to spend some time on, after the stream to can use funds from it though. I see. So for us, you have private healthcare that you have to pay for on your own, even though you are insured. For private healthcare, even though you're insured, you still have to pay for. So that's a thing. But usually the private healthcare is, several stages way better. And doctors actually know what they are saying and they know what they are doing. While for the free healthcare, doctors treat you like you're lying about everything. Like straight up, I went in with like fever, like 40 degrees Celsius to the doctor. She looked at me. No, you don't have a fever. Like literally right before the visit, I've measured the fever after taking the meds, so the fever itself was way higher. But after taking the fever medications, it was 40 degrees Celsius. I was like literally shaking and almost awake. And she just, no, you are not. You are lying to me. Here, insurance covers the free healthcare, but you have to pay only the additional part of private, essentially the difference. I see. Here it's a full price, unfortunately. I wish it would be like partial thing though. That's the worst, yeah. Exactly. Worst feeling ever. Like you are literally there sitting, almost freaking dying from a fever, and someone is calling you a liar. If an X-ray is 100 money in free and it's covered and it's 150 for private, you only have to pay 50 for private. That's really cool system, by the way. I really like that system. Over here, you have to go like over here. You only have to pay for the visit because you can, as long as you have insurance, like X-rays and stuff are free. So you can like go to any medical thing, and as long as you have receipt that you're supposed to receive X-ray, you're like all good to go. You don't have to pay anything. But the doctor requires his cut, which is like 200, 250, 300. Like depends on the doctor, by the way. Depends on the doctor actually. Visit fee are abolished here. Pensioners are the biggest voter base of the current gov. I see. Similar here, but like the health system doesn't really change much. Like a lot of younger base is of the country is not voting. I don't vote either, by the way. I just feel that no matter who's going to win, and everything is going to be the same. I don't have feeling of the possibility to choose, so I don't really go there. Same, I don't vote. Yeah, it's just based on lack of diversity and possibility to feel that my vote matters. So they always do bad for the younger generations and cater for the elderly. Yeah, because elderly are, voting for them. So of course they are going to cut a lot for the younger generations that are not voting for them, and for one, probably kind of punish them, and for two, give the people who voted for them, which are pensioners and elderly, the benefits that they've voted for them to be voted again for. Hi Skylar, got over here. How are you? Right, how's going? Oh, yeah. Hope that that talk wasn't political enough. And Princess Winter, yeah, she's here. I can get more political if you want. No, no, no. I don't want my channel to touch much political topics. No, alrighty. I'm glad to hear that. You look stunning as always, my prince. Oh, blush cam. Kiss on the cheek, pinch cheeks. Oh. You sound sad. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's okay. I'm a bit tired. Sorry. I tend to sound like this when I get really tired. I don't know. It's just today's day. The weather changes a lot recently, and it's really affecting me. Yeah. I think that's. I think I might actually make this stream shorter because of that. Probably will stream around like 1945 or something like that, which is like in about 22 minutes. So better let's catch up as fast as possible, shall we? I think that's going to be the main shtick for the book stuff. Uh, I need to work. I see. That's all right. Like power all day. I see old addiction came back. I've been personally watching some game grams and listening to music while writing a book today. I'll still have a bit more to work on that. I have to check if Jaguar feeding game is out of alpha. I still need to watch the VOD. We had fun. Sorry, by the way, if the stream seemed really slow. And, if someone subscribed to my channel only for the games, I mean, only for the drawing, I'm generally still going to stream drawing. I don't see a reason why should I stop. It's just sometimes I feel like I would prefer to sit down and play a little bit, and that's generally the game of choice because we can play together if someone has it. remember to feel whenever we are going to play. Remember to feel free. I'm always going to like ask for the code or something because I'm willing to show. We had our yearly Palworld C, yeah, in 2026. Yeah, let's go. Do whatever you want with your channel. I mean, I kind of feel like I would want to also pursue stuff that people would want to see because, like, after all, I'm just, you know, like, of course, I can draw whatever I draw and do whatever I want, but to be fair, I'm really open to stuff and I don't really feel like bound by one thing. If someone would, request me to, let's say, draw Pokemon as humans in the next stream, I don't have to finish it to draw it. I can just go and draw sketches of Pokemon as humans tomorrow. Because, for example, that's going to be also a mark for me. That's, drawing this specific character is starting to getting boring for you guys. And I also want to keep, the content variety, right, for all of you, because I'm personally a bit boring. So at least I can do that. You wanted to do objects as humans. True, true. Like Rino Tuna does. Like animals, objects, fruits, veggies. I might actually do that. But that's going to be like, whenever there's going to be a character started, we're going to keep at it and refine it. That will be fun. Yay! I'm glad to hear that. Because it's like, a bit more character design. Maybe I'll be able to sit down, look at the character design, like, actually, that character design looks so cool. I can use it for this character. And that would also speed up a bit the way how we are going to pursue our, my artistic universe, right? Although the general concept probably is going to be very random. Read, I'm not sure if it's going to be always fantasy. It might also be, a bit modern design or something like that, or futuristic. Generally, whatever is going to come to my mind while looking at this specific thing. I wonder if there's like random word generator for that. Like, for example, Reno Tuna recently did Jack Daniels, uh, the brand itself. I wonder how he's getting ideas. I would really love to, you know, design characters. But yeah, probably we might also make some realistic drawings. Fuck. What's up, Zaga? I like designing characters. Same. There's a big flying bug in my room. Shoot. I'm always disgusted and kinda scared of those. and I just slapped toward it with my hand, not expecting to hit it. Shoot, burn. Actually, I've seen a story where someone set a moth on fire, and that moth actually flew to his curtains on the window and set them on fire, causing a small fire in his thing. I have a big bug crime scene stain on my wall. Shoot. Imagine that's like huge bugs are always leaving such a huge mess. I hate it. About mess, I probably have to vacuum tomorrow. Why do they have to have bug guts? Because they also process foods. Well, actually, how the fuck do bugs eat anyways? Smaller bugs, uh, waste from humans, vegetation, like grass and stuff. Basically, they are on the diet. They are very similar to humans. Whatever they can lay their hands on, they are eating that. Kinda. Of course, human is not going to. Hi, Jayon, got Evie here. How are you? Hope how's going? Is 2025 bro still under the water? Just took a dip. Has a big breath. I would like die underwater. For the love of me, I can't hold my breath at all. There's a spot you haven't colored. I need that to be slightly darker, like this, and I need the gradient near the armpit. Oh, I've made a bounce light here. It's supposed to be slightly brighter here. Everything is fine except that the suffering is part of life. Feels fantastic about it when I accept a thing that used to hurt or bother me. I see. No? Huh? Wait. Near the bow? Here. Near the bow. There are shadows here, very subtle though. Maybe I could make things here? I don't know, don't accept it, but do something about it if you can. I've checked new Marvel Rivals thing, I see. On top of it, here? Oh, you mean the part of the line art? I'll have to work line art again in the places where the line art got covered. No? Damn. I'm dumb then. Make the triangle yellow. Oh, that part. That's what you mean. Okay, yeah. I forgot about that. Thank goodness. I'm dumb. You have to speak them simpler to me. That cat that cries. Okay, I think we finished. Kratos' voice. Speak plainly. I was struggling to. No, don't worry. I mean, you've noticed that part. Yeah, I'm addicted. The Marvel Rivals. I don't know what's so cool about Marvel Rivals. I've just seen people playing it, and the game itself didn't really felt like anything for me. Maybe it's because I'm not really so close with games like that. Yeah, Kratos' voice, speak plainly. Bro. Okay. We finished the skin. That's good. That was my goal actually, that I wanted to at least do that. Probably we would be either really close to being done or, just generally completing, almost completing the design if I would be able to keep going. But again, I have to take my doggo, give him meds in like 19 minutes. I hate the fact that I have to leave on clock because it's really affecting me personally. I'm getting tired by that. Like, I like routine, but it's not a routine that I like generally. Like, I can do some stuff, I can do a lot of things, but like whenever I have to, okay, at 18 I have to take the food from him because he can't eat 2 hours before the meds, then he can't eat for 40 minutes to an hour after the meds, so I have to keep in mind 2 hours before. On 20 I have to give him the meds, then I have to watch carefully for the fact that 40 minutes to an hour, and I can give him food because he haven't eaten in a while. So this is an issue. This is an issue that I have to admit that defeats me and kind of beats the main purpose of a lot of things. Like, I just don't understand the food case, the food situation and stuff. Without that, I wouldn't really bother. Like, in the morning when I wake up, I have to give him the meds, and then I have to walk him out. But you do it for him. Yeah, I'm doing it just so, I'm doing it for him. I'm doing this to spend more time with him, right? Because again, those are meds that he takes for heart. There will be daytime savings changed soon anyways. True. There's going to be the thing changed. But like still it's going to be like kind of just affecting your sleep in general. So that's that's the only thing. You're just going to sleep less, but still you'll have to like keep at it with the not mine lol. I see. Yeah, true. Not yours. I think you're literally sleeping at times that are dodging the change. Fuck the clock. Perfect. I love it. I love it, man. You guys have daylight saving. Yeah, I do. Basically, you're either pushing the clock by an hour further or behind, depending on if you are changing most of Europe. Yeah. So basically, if you are, but so to say, if you are going on the summer time, because you have it's because you have two times. You have winter time and summer time. If you have summer time, you push your clock hour ahead. If it's the winter time, you push the time hour back. That's the general thing. I thought it was only American thing. No. I think it's maybe Estonia or Lithuania or some country around there which doesn't have daylight savings. It's to be fair, yeah. To be like, here's the thing: daylight savings were made only because the time of the day was changing. You can see when the days are starting to be longer and nights shorter, and only because of that you have the difference where villagers, right, people that were taking care of the plains were changing their sleep time to save daylight, so they could work longer or they could work shorter, right? So during the winter they were spending as much time during the day. It's more like you can save power. True, that too. But it was actually made by villagers during medieval times. And since then it was like just constantly going on, and it still is here up today. Daylight savings are since medieval times to, till now. I've seen that, for example, Poland was thinking about getting rid of the thing. I don't think villagers cared to wake up when the rooster yells. That's a bit complicated. Actually, I can check it up on the internet because that's this version I've heard. Why do we have daylight savings? Oh yeah, it was. You are right. Daylight saving time has its roots in train schedules, but it was put into practice in Europe and the United States to save fuel and power during World War One, according to the U.S. Department of Transportation's Bureau of Transportation Statistics. But this is according to that. In Arizona is the only state without it, probably because Arizona is like I think newer state, right? Or not? Probably not. Uh, yeah, Benjamin Franklin was even talking about that. There we go. So the idea is to move an hour of sunlight from the early morning to the evening so that people can make more use of daylight. If it's on the edge of two time zones, it can get away with it. Yeah, fair, fair enough. And I think Arizona is what? Don't listen to me about these states. I have no idea how the American agglomeration was made. I know that America's name was actually from Italian guy Amerigo Vespucci, who made the full map of America, discovering the Latin America, the America and Canada, and that's only why American continent is called America. And Columb didn't discover America, he discovered Colombia. He didn't discover shit because right after discovering Colombia, he came back to Spain. And then since they've discovered that they are not going to India, they've decided to make the road near the coastline. That way, they would ensure of Hawaii and other islands is funny. True. But that's going to be something for y'all to read about because we are ending the stream. Let's go cliffhanger stream. Thanks again for being active chat on Twitch. Thanks Muto, Skylar, and Jayon for being active chat on YouTube. And folks, as always, stay creative and I hope to see you all in next stream. Take care.